It's a new day in crypto, but we're here at Around the Blockchain to help you sort through what's important. Today, we're going to talk about a little project called XRP, a little project called Vechain, and a little state called Wyoming. All that and more on Around the Blockchain. Look at that. I just went right through that letter right there. That's so cool. Welcome to Around the Blockchain. I'm your host. It's the Nick Tater. Yes, you're not seeing double. It's not double vision. I was on this morning on the BitBoy Crypto channel. Now I'm here. I'm doing another show after this. Crazy day here at Hit Network. But here to guide me through the process is some of the smartest people in all of crypto. I'm talking about our fly guests with their fly outfits. We've got all sorts of, it looks like freaking Dragon Con up in this place, okay? We've got like a prepper, we've got a freaking steampunk dude, we got a cowboy, and then we have Frank. So let's talk to Frank. Hi, Frank. How are you, Paisan? What's up?
I am doing great. How you doing, Nick? A long time no see. It was only a little while ago. We were on the BitBoy Crypto show.
I know. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Miggy, explain your headgear.
So I am getting ready to go to Rare Evo, and this is going to be my first day Rare Evo outfit. I actually got these glasses at a anime convention out in Oklahoma, small one. So I figured I'd rock them for the first time out in public.
Now it all makes sense.
It. This is my conference outfit.
Okay, good. I like it. So going from headgear to headgear, Cowboys of Crypto. Who let you back on this show?
Glad to be on the show again. I should have three things to say to you guys.
Okay.
Number one, take off the hairs off your biscuit. Number two, never slap a man chewing tobacco. And number three, hit the like button for ATB.
Wow. I like that. Look, I give Cowboys of Crypto all sorts of crap, but we appreciate all of his hot takes, all of his spicy and pithy comments. But there's nothing pithy about these comments when it comes to Crypto Keeper and his guns. How are you, man? I hear you're down for the count. I hear you've sustained an injury, but you're playing through it.
I have, but you can tell Ben, even with a torn rotator cuff, I will outbench him. You can just pass that along.
Man.
Pass it along.
Oh, man.
Actually, I'm going to text him in a minute and let him know.
You should. Well, we appreciate you being here, playing hurt. He just tore his rotator cuff literally moments before the stream. And what I can only assume was an act of selfless heroism. If you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to Around the Blockchain. Look at this channel. 21,000 subscribers. Building this channel brick by brick. Okay, we're live right now. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. We had maybe a Band-Aid. Gifted 5 memberships. What a G. What an OG. You too can subscribe and get a whole bunch of cool new perks for Around the Blockchain. And if you're not already following us on the Twitters, look at these Twitters. We have resurrected, what is this, Hannah, our third account? Yeah, because Twitter X just keeps on blocking us, but we keep on coming back, baby. So let's get into the show. This show is kind of crazy. We're talking about a pretty significant thing that just happened today, considering what's going on with Ripple. 2 major lawyers that were working for the SEC on the Ripple case quit. They quit today. In a big update, SEC lawsuit, SEC attorneys Pascal Guerrero, Richard Best, and Robert McDonald Moy have withdrawn from the Ripple lawsuit. This news comes as Judge Annalisa Torres was scheduling a trial for the remaining arguments in the case. Richard Best of the SEC is out on extended medical leave. Judge Torres, do you think he got COVID? Judge Torres approved Best's removal from the lawsuit. However, the judge has yet to grant the motion for withdrawal. Cool. So it's a very interesting development. Why are lawyers quitting the SEC case versus Ripple? I thought this was a slam dunk. I thought the SEC was unstoppable. Let's go to Keeper. Is there a potential play by Ripple to try and resolve this case in full right around the halving, or is this just a coincidence?
Well, I hope it's not just a coincidence. I mean, you would think that some of these attorneys dropping off, there's probably some things happening in the background. They're realizing, oh, shoot, I'm on the wrong side of the ball here. I haven't read into what's going on here, so I don't have any of, obviously, the background information. But no matter what, if Ripple can full on, walk away clean from this case, especially if they could walk away with actually hearing from the SEC. Now, they're not going to get an apology, But if the SEC, that's for sure. But if the SEC actually absolves them, truly, freely, clearly, I think we're going to see a nice big move from XRP. And no, ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to be the $589. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That would make me a ton of money, but it's not going to happen. But I could see us going back to all-time highs relatively quickly as the bull run kicks off. But the reality is this: Bitcoin's got to run. That's how these crypto markets work. We could see the nice little moves, your little 30, 40, 50, 60% pumps here and there, but Bitcoin's got to run. So Bitcoin, do your thing, and then XRP, I believe, will follow, following obviously getting some good news finalized on this case.
Yeah. Before we move on, I just want to say, follow everyone up here. Follow all these guests. These guys have committed their life to bringing you fantastic crypto alpha. So give everyone up here a follow. Their usernames are down there right by their names. Let's see. Miggy, will we see more fallout from people within the SEC as Gensler's actions continue to fall under congressional scrutiny?
I mean, I think it's possible. I think what, a lot of these lawyers are realizing is that, it's hard to really categorize crypto under these SEC laws because, these are tailored towards fiat currencies. And as I've talked about before, with a lot of my friends, is that at some point, new litigation is going to have to be written. And so I don't think they're really in a position to do anything. Ripple's already been holding strong against this case. And like I said, I think they're finding out that it's going to take a lot more than just throwing some old rules at something new. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board and start from the ground up. And I think it's a good sign for crypto. But I think we'll see a little bit more coming out of this, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will see what happens, but I think it's a bullish sign that we all now know that you clean your apartment, because we can see the mop right behind you, and that's a very bullish sign that you're a clean individual. I really appreciate that. Everyone go, I'm going to give you an extra point just for cleanliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Cowboys of Crypto, XRP on the secondary market has already been kind of sort of deemed fine, right? It's fine. But will Gensler have a shot at finding a partial win against Ripple when this case is all said and done? Basically, are we not really as far out of the woods as we think we are?
Seeing all this chaos from SEC and Gensler got me grinning ear to ear like a possum eating a sweet tater. The fact is, when you turn the lights on, all the roaches scatter. When the sinking ship happens, all the rats jump first. And yeah, he could easily pick up a win down the line. Who knows? But the problem is that we shouldn't be so short-sighted. We shouldn't celebrate our win before we have our hands raised. We shouldn't be spending the money before we secure the bag. And the fact is that all this regulation is going to take a very long time before it all plays out. I said this before, but it bears weight to say it again. It took 100 years to create laws that were needed to sustain a working infrastructure for the invention of cars. It's going to take a lot longer than just one or two cases, just one or two Gary Genslers to create the laws necessary, the infrastructure necessary to govern properly the invention of crypto. The SEC is simply the equivalent to a teacher who gives you detention, whose life peaked in high school, right? It's a corrupt institution. It creates regulations that they know nothing about. They do more harm than good to investors, and they're also paid off by special interest groups used as leverage to kill competition and stifle innovation. I'm just looking forward to this whole fight that the crypto community is looking forward to with the SEC.
Yep. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. But speaking of drag-out, Frankie Candles, besides your weekend plans, when you are trading coins that have this kind of explosive just news cycles behind them, right? Like XRP, like anything could blow up at any single time. Is there what's like some tricks of the trade when you're looking at these coins, you're trying to trade these projects that just have these explosive potential?
Yeah, that's a good question, Nick. And I'll be 100% honest with you, right? I am almost, I'm a very heavy technical trader, right? And I've been talking about this a lot recently on my channel. I'm a big believer in show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. And I don't say that as in I don't think the news moves the price or anything like that. But, I say this all the time. There's been so many times where I'm either in a long position or a short position, and someone comes running up to me at the office. Sometimes it's you, Deezy, whoever it is. Oh, did you guys see the dump? Elon tweeted, or did you guys see XRP's ripping? They won the case, whatever it is. And I'm always like, interesting. I'm in a long position, but I was not anticipating that at all. I was trading based off of a technical signal. So my advice would really be, obviously not financial advice. I leave that to you, Nick. But I would just say for me, and this might not work for everybody, but for me, it's just trading what I see on the charts, and then just letting whatever news happens, just let the news be the news. I'm just trading the charts, and basically the charts.
Got it. And just a real quick update. Yes, DZ is still the host of the show. Here he is on Twitter. He landed at the Denver International Airport. Okay.
All right, me and Kat, we
trying
just
to
landed
check
in
things
Denver
out.
for rare
Okay.
Evo, and I'm going to look out for those Illuminati
looking
tunnels.
out for the Illuminati tunnels. And he's never been seen again. So rip DZ. Another life claimed by the Denver airport. Gone too soon. This episode of Around the Blockchain brought to you by Liquid Death. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one, Owen. See? Liquid Death, where are you? We need this sponsorship. You know you want me. Let's move on. Pretty good show so far, I must say. Vechain, okay? There's a lot of Vechain lovers out there. There's a lot of Vechain daters out there. There's a lot of Vechain, I would almost say, players out there. But the project has been kind of quiet. Well, at Rare Evo, Vechain has a presence there. It's not just a Cardano conference. Rare Evo has all sorts of coins there. Vechain is making a gigantic splash there. Just so you, in case you don't know, Vechain is a blockchain-based platform that can be used to improve the efficiency and transparency of global logistics. The platform uses a combination of blockchain, smart contracts, and the IoT, Internet of Things, to create a secure and tamper-proof record of all transactions. They are like the partnership gods. It's like when it comes to business dev, like it's them and Polygon. Like they've partnered with Walmart, China, basically all of China, and then BMW, to name a few. There's all sorts of interesting developments happening with Vechain. They're quiet, but they're loud. Like they are continuing to build a community. So let me go around the blockchain here. Just a real quick. Is Vechain on your radar as a project, starting with Miggy? Yes or no?
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
I've had
Keeper.
a chance to get to know some of the teams, so
I'll come right back to you guys. Don't worry. Keeper.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, Cowboy.
I see blood splattered over the Vechain canvas in the UFC every time. So yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Frank, what about you?
Cowboy took the words right out of my mouth there. So shout out to V.
Yeah, Vechain's a very interesting project. So let me ask Miggy, if it's on your radar, what are your expectations for Vechain in the bull run, considering it's such a specific blockchain?
I think because of their ability to build behind the scenes and kind of really be smart about where they're putting their resources and time, I think they will probably come out pretty big during the bull run, because as we've seen most recently during this bull run, one thing we had a lot of participation of was companies and different corporations. And so I think as we go to this next one, we'll see that again, and they're going to be looking for solid chains that they'll be able to operate their businesses on, and Vechain is holding strong as one of those options for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. Cowboy, who would you consider to be Vechain's closest competitor?
I don't even think in that terms. I think that's a small boxed in term for Vechain. Honestly, Vechain is huge. Okay. Like I just said, it is on UFC's radar. It's all over the canvas. Whenever Sugar Sean O'Malley knocks someone out, their blood is right on the canvas there. They're on F1 as far as I can remember. Look, when we talk about Vechain, we're talking about one of the most stable, long-standing projects. It's one of the first cryptos that I ever bought into. They're talking not about just building a community, but building technology and infrastructure. So right now, just on the onset of it, it's amazing. However, I know that crypto, in my take, crypto is driven by the narratives. It's boring right now. It's silent. But like you said, Nick, it's like one of those things where it's silent, but their logo is everywhere. They're sponsoring everything. So right now, the crypto game is like this. It's like a crowded elevator full of people, and someone just drops a bag of rattlesnakes in that elevator. Some will die, some will live. We don't know who's going to do that. But in the chaos, there's some standing people there who are not going away, and Vechain is one of those. So we should be concerned and considered for the long haul, okay? Not like, okay, who's the competitor? They're all competitors. It's chaos right now. We're in a bear run. We should be prepping for the bull run. But right now, people are always positioning. If you're an influencer, you're trying to position for clout. If you're an investor, you're trying to position for more position in any given project. If you're a project, you're trying to position for community and tech, or at least you should be. So the promise of a magic bull run is coming. I hope, I mean, who knows, right? I have no idea, but all I'm trying to do right now is position, and that's the only thing I can do.
Gotcha. Keeper, I'm going to come to you in a minute, but Frank, let's look at this Vechain chart. Tell me what you're seeing on Vechain. Is it healthy? Is it stinky? Are you going to trade it? Are you going to hate it?
Yeah, go ahead and pull up the chart real quick here. So what I will say is, I'll be honest with you, Nick. There's not too much on the chart that is screaming to me massive dump or massive pump, at least as of right now. But one thing I will say is when I look at this chart, there is a major area that we need to get above to see higher prices for Vechain. And that level is going to be kind of this whole area right here. I'll make it a box. And it's going to be this kind of whole area here between about 0.028 and 0.023. And the reason for this is not only is this a very key level of resistance. Let me pull up my brush tool. If we are able to get a bounce up here, if we come up to this level, not only is this the point of control and value area high of this local range, but it's also our point of control of all of the price action, right? So if I zoom out here, these high volume nodes, let me go ahead and move the chart over. These big spikes in volume like this typically are very strong levels of resistance. So I wouldn't be expecting too much crazy price action to the upside until Vechain can get over this blue box and then open up. If you are able to get above that level, it does open up the door to potentially get a quick move up to that 4-cent level. So if we get above there, I would expect a quick move to 4 cents. And then I would expect a decent bit of resistance at that level, but nothing too crazy until we get over this big high volume node at 0.023.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Awesome chartage once again from Frankie Candles. Some folks have been saying XYO in the chat is a competitor. I would say XYO is... I would say no, because XYO is a positional data blockchain. So it's like gyroscopes, GPS location, totally different than a logistics one. I know Vechain was, I think they're partnered with, basically it's like shipping. It's like tracking shipping. I'm just going to pull up the coin market cap on Vechain here. Right now we're at basically 1.5 cents. The market cap is like just over $1 billion. I don't know. I hate the new coin market cap out.
The all-time high was like 25 cents, if that's what you're
Was it really? Here it is. Oh, yeah, it is. Here it is down here. 27 cents from the all-time high. So we are way off. We're like a 20x away from the all-time high. But I don't know what the inflation rate is, although it is bullish that the most of 83% of the circulating supply is out. That is good. Mm-hmm. That's a healthy little metric. I like that right there. But what may not be healthy is its relationship with China. Keeper, with so many ties to China, do you think Vechain, Drew wrote V-China.
I saw that.
I don't know if I appreciate the alliteration that I just said. Do you think Vechain will be able to compete in the US considering it's tied to China that much?
Yeah, I mean, simply, it's you were talking about what Vechain does. It's supply chain management, and all of these massive institutions, corporations, they all need to be able to operate their business, and that's effectively what Vechain does. As everything moves over to blockchain, they need solutions on the blockchain. So I've been talking for a while about this being a utilitarian bull run. Well, Vechain fits right in there, and it's funny that you brought up Vechain. I had not seen the questions prior to the show, and on Debate Crypto earlier today, I had asked, hey, what asset would you buy if you had $1,000 and you were planning on making it at least a 10x? And I said, coincidentally, Vechain. And Vechain is something that I hold and am going to be buying more of. I think that there's a lot of opportunity here. Now, I don't love the China aspect of it. If any of you have listened to me on TikTok or anywhere else, you probably know some of my stance on some of the, political side of things. So I don't love that. The reality is, though, we rely in the US heavily upon China. So unless we place some sort of sanctions, and if we were to place those sanctions, we would be effectively biting off our nose to spite our face would be what would be happening. And so I think people are going to flock towards what works. And then also it's the crypto space, right? If this thing starts to rip, they don't care where the heck this thing is based out of. They don't care. Investors are looking to make money. And if people see an opportunity to make money and it also solves a real world problem, I think you've got the best of both worlds there. I think it's going to do really well. And short of the United States, for some reason, saying, hey, Walmart, you can't use VeChain because it's from China, which I think Walmart would tell them to pound sand. That's not happening. You know, it's going to do well no matter what. I think that this is a project that you should be paying attention to, not obviously financial advice.
Yeah. And pounding sand is difficult because it's not that much sand. Let me see here. Super chats. I've been amiss. I've been missing super chats. I'm so sorry. Let me go through them. Okay. You guys paid good money for these super chats. Deezy's Peanuts says, shout out to Cowboy, ready to hog tie the haters. Love to hear it. Maybe a Band-Aid says, hashtag not my inhaler. Great. Congratulations, maybe a Band-Aid. Let's move on to Jackson Hole Symposium. But before we do, and how many likes are we at? 201. Guys, these are 215, 250.
Fix that.
This is trash. This is chat. I'm actually kind of mad. Okay, so you need to get on it, bro. Like, get on it. Hit that like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel. Copy the link. Hit the share button. Post this on Facebook, and then also get it tattooed as a tramp stamp, as a QR code on your lower back, so everyone can get a subscription to Around the Blockchain. It's literally the minimum you can do to be in crypto. Let's get on with Jackson Hole Symposium kickoff. Okay, so the Jackson Hole Symposium is a conglomeration of the aliens from They Live, where they all go to Wyoming. They're all from the central banks, and they all talk about money. Okay, so they go to Wyoming because there's very few people there. Central bank officials, this is from Bloomberg.com. Central bank officials from all around the globe descend on a resort town in Wyoming every year to discuss the biggest economic challenges of the moment because they themselves created them. And along with investors and Wall Street policymakers in Washington, they typically parse the speech by the head of the U.S. Central Bank for clues to where the economy and interest rates are headed. At last year's Jackson Hole conference, Jay Powell, talking from the hole around a 40-year, talking about inflation from a 40-year high, dominated the discussion. There he is in a extremely questionable getup. Look, if you wear a fleece vest, you are not to be trusted. Okay, not to be trusted with money, not to be trusted around children, definitely not to be trusted to return your shopping cart to the corral. Let's see. Up until recently, the path ahead has been clear. Keep raising interest rates, but inflation, while still high, has eased substantially. It has not. Oh, I hate this so freaking much. Okay, I'm not going to rant. Okay, I'm done. Let's get on it. Miggy, do you think Jay Powell and other central bankers will move in tandem with these rate hike decisions, or will rate hikes in the U.S. potentially be paralleled by a hike, pause, or rate cuts in the EU?
Honestly, I have a feeling that, we'll see the move in tandem because, what happens out here in the United States tends to kind of get followed along. It seems like they're trying to put a tight squeeze on the world and the global financial system, and I don't think they're going to let up anytime soon. So I think we're in for a little bit longer of some, hiked prices, but I think at some point, they'll have to let go of that grip, but not looking good right now.
Gotcha. So a real quick follow-up question. What would be something shocking or concerning that would come out of Jay Powell's mouth that would concern Miggy Crypto?
Oh, man. Honestly, I don't know if I can pinpoint out one thing. It seems like a lot of stuff he says kind of gives me a little shocker, but honestly, it'd be turning in favor and be like, hey, you know what? We're going to scrap the system and really try to implement Bitcoin into here and see what we can do to lower these prices. But that would shock me the most.
Yeah, that would be insane. So I want to give this question kind of to everybody. Keeper, has the inflation for day-to-day run-of-the-mill folks, average Joes, gone back down to a reasonable level, in your opinion?
Hold on a second. Let me think for two words for this. Hell no. I own, some small businesses, and we are seeing this absolutely just across the board. All you have to do is go to the grocery store and figure out, wait a minute, why is everything so damn expensive? Well, the reality is with inflation starting at the top, it just trickles down, and you have the business owners passing along all of the problems that are happening monetarily to the next person. And then the next person that owns a small business that bought stuff from one place or another, let's say, for example, my construction business, when I go to Home Depot, everything's so daggone expensive. Well, guess what? The next time I write up a quote for a customer, I have to take that into account. I have to understand that, wait a minute, my profit margins are thinning out here because of this. So what do? I give the person a higher quote. Then the person buying the addition for their home says, well, this is really expensive. Okay, they invest the money in it. Now they turn around to sell the home. Well, I've got to sell the home for more money because I spent so much money on this addition. You can see how this just continues to basically snowball, right? And so I think we're at a point where people are just absolutely fed up with it. The other thing is they fudge these numbers and they finesse these numbers. I'll give you a really good example. When they tell you, hey, inflation is down to 3%. Well, I have news flash for everybody. It's still 3% up from where it was before. So we're continuing to move up. The number just keeps getting lower, but it's stacking on top, on top, on top. They don't tell you that, right? They just say, oh, inflation is down. No, the heck it's not. It's continuing to move up. We have a lot of problems in this country, and you can feel it. I don't care what kind of money you make. You're feeling this somewhere, either as a business owner or not, or as just, the average blue collar American working person. People are feeling it. You can hear even from, what's the song that the Richmond, north of Richmond, that's gone nuts recently.
Oh Lord,
that has resonated. That has resonated through the country for one reason and one reason only. People are tired of this authoritarianistic government that has basically pushed us into a corner and said, hey, this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. And this is how much it's going to cost. And it needs to end.
Yeah, exactly. So, Frank, I'm going to come to you in a minute and talk about interest rates and how cheap money is going to affect some pricing action. But Cowboys of Crypto, what's the way out from this interest mess? Will we need to see more job losses and higher unemployment to finally see some rate cuts come to the market? Or is the Fed finally going to get their head out of their bottom and start adjusting rates based on what is actually happening in the economy instead of focusing on having like laser focus on the wrong thing?
First things first, nothing good comes out of Jackson's hole. Like Powell, we have been looking at, he's been talking about 2%, right? That's where we're trying to hit. And so he's trying to drive the economy down to those levels. And any progress that we're making towards that is a good thing in his eyes. I just got a bill today, the most expensive electric bill I've ever had in my entire life, $350.
Yes.
Might be cheap for some of you guys, might be expensive for some of you. That's how I'm seeing it. It's the most expensive bills that I'm getting. The price for my child's education went up by $2,000. And for some reason, I got a gas station breakfast this morning and it was $12. And all I got is a dirty bagel and a black coffee. This ain't First Watch. So things are getting more expensive. They raise the rates because of inflation. And inflation happens when they expand monetary policy, right? Monetary expansion. This is an invisible tax on normal people, okay? This is taxation without representation, and it's wrong. This is why we had a massive Tea Party. So prices go up by 20 to 50%. And let me ask you this. Who here has gotten a 20 to 50% pay raise? Nobody. No boss can do that, even if you have the best boss in the world. And I know that some of us own our own business. I wish I could do that for my people, but I can't. Inflation happens when the politicians want to buy votes, when they want to spend debt, and they want to leave the check to our children. There's no fiscal accountability in Congress and Washington, and the money printing is the ultimate power, and they have it. They make the closest people to them, the closest to the money printer, loyal, and they defend the system because their livelihood resides on it. They defend the system, and you enslave a nation this way, and you bring the world to heel. The rate hikes are a symptom of the real problem. It's money printing, and it has to stop. Buy Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good comment. Real quick, before we go to Frank, breaking news, the Trump mugshot just came out. So, Owen, if you want to take my screen, there it is, the Trump mugshot. Amazing stuff there. The more you look at it, the worse it gets. Frank, why do we need low interest rates? What's that going to do to the price? What's that going to do to the price action?
Yeah, Nick, so typically this is very good for price action, right? The lower the interest rates, obviously not only see stocks shoot up, but obviously crypto as well. This is, a big part of why price action has been, absolutely dumping since the top of this bull market in 2021. But yeah, it's generally going to be, or likely to be very, very positive for price action. And we kind of saw that in June where we got that massive, let's see, let me pull up the daily chart here and share my screen here. like right here in June, we saw a massive 24% pump with only, within days. So definitely positive for price action. The question is, when will this wind up bringing it? It's kind of hard to say, right? Because I know, when you look at the 4-year cycle, there's a lot of people who think that, the 4-year cycle is what moves Bitcoin. It's that supply shock that we get during the halving, or the halving is what causes the supply shock, which is what causes the big move up. But there are a lot of people out there that think that the price action on Bitcoin and crypto is just tied to things like the stock market. And it's kind of hard. I kind of land right in the middle, right? I'm a trader and a technical analyst, so I'm always taking multiple things into consideration and just simply trying to come up with the highest probability outcome, right? And keyword probability. So although lower interest rates would be pretty good for the price action on stocks and crypto, the question is, are we waiting for the halving to move the price? Is the halving even really what moves the price, or is it really just tied to the stock market? And for me, again, as a trader, having to always flip-flop bullish and bearish because we can make money both ways, I'm forced to look at all things and consider everything all at once. But just in general, as a simple question, lower interest rates is going to be generally good for the price action on Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how long it's going to take for that to slingshot up the price of Bitcoin when it finally starts to happen. That is all the time we have today. All the guests have been absolutely fire. The chat has been off the hook. DZ's Peanut says to help out for the electric bill, Frankie and Cowboy stream would be dope. Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. But I'm going to have to go ahead and give the win to Crypto Keeper because he started talking about Richmond, north of Richmond. Congratulations, Crypto Keeper, for the win. Send us off, my guy.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me on, as always. Hey, listen, first of all, go follow all of the other creators before you follow us. They are doing great content every single day, so check them out. All the links are down below. And just as a little alpha here, Danger Close Alpha, we've been talking about doing a politically charged podcast. If you like some of what I touched on today and you want to see me go full Alex Jones with my business partner, Crusader, Sunday at 1 p.m., look up Danger Close Alpha on YouTube. We are going to go ham. So be there, 1 p.m. Sunday, Danger Close Alpha.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Thank you, all the guests. You guys are great today. Appreciate all of you coming to hang out. And come back. I don't know what's going to be happening tomorrow. DZ may be going live from Rare Evo. I might be hosting again. We may just do some live trading. Who knows what's going to happen? It's Freaky Friday. Appreciate y'all. See ya at the top.